and welcome to the Real Estate 360 show. And this is Steve Connolly.
And I am Jason O'Miles.
We have a fantastic show again for you today. Every single time.
That's right.
Know?
Now, listen, I just want to get the housekeeping stuff out of the way early. Listen, we really appreciate you guys listening and watching on the radio, on YouTube. We also want to make sure that you're checking us out on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, those kinds of places, because that's the best kind of place to interact with us, to let other people know what you like, what you don't like. Let us know what you like to hear about. We like to give you what you like to hear, right?
That's right. And you can communicate with us through realestate360show.com. And, there's a little tab at the top called Contact Us.
That's right.
Yeah.
And just do that. Reach out. You can also find out a lot about what we do and where we're doing it on the website.
Yeah.
realestate360show.com.
That's right.
Yeah. So go to iTunes, check us out, leave messages, comment, share, the whole nine, because we like it. All right?
Since we're doing the housekeeping and what you just said, you can find out what we're doing and where we are. We have a seminar that is coming up November the 9th on funding your properties.
Gotta love it.
And what was that little extra note that we had there about funding your properties with no money or zero money?
Starting from zero.
Starting from zero. That's it.
Starting from zero.
That is 10 o'clock to noon o'clock. That's a whole 2 hours.
Whole 2 hours.
And at the Panera Bread.
Yeah, that's the North Side office.
The North Side office. Yeah. That's right. Oh yeah, we have a couple offices. You know.
We affectionately refer to the Panera Breads that we frequent as our North Side office or our West Side office.
Yeah,
we
sublease a little space in there.
We should.
We are. We just get coffee with it.
That's right. We get cheap real estate. It's cheap real estate.
So today we are talking about the same thing that we're going to be talking about in our 2-hour seminar, which is funding your properties.
Yeah. Everybody wants to know where to find the money. How do you get this done? I mean, I don't have anything, or I don't want to use all that I have, or they go to these, as I call them, the free $2,000 seminars, and some of them are a lot more, and they spend $3,000, $5,000, $6,000 only to leave there with a book of, information that they'll never really understand anyway.
I've been to those, and I have heard them say, we are going to provide you with the money to buy your deals.
Yeah.
But you know what? They don't.
No. You ultimately have to. They provide you with the resource for you to learn how to go and find the money that will fund your deals.
And you don't need to spend $2,000 for that. You can go, there's this thing called Google. You can go Google it. Yep. Hard money lenders. Bam, there they are. That's what they're giving you.
That's exactly right. Or, you can, if you're really aggressive, you can call closing attorneys and say, do you have any lending contacts? Yeah. Because they all do.
Sure.
Right? They all do, because they're closing bank deals every time, right?
Right.
Lender deals. It's one kind of lender or another. They're doing it. You can go to your local RIA. There's generally going to be a lot of lenders there or lender representatives there. And that just kind of starts it off for you. It doesn't cost you anything but a little time.
That's right. Maybe we should talk about what are the options right now for funding. And I have a list here. Let me get my reading glasses on.
I gotta. Okay,
there we go.
It's kind of sunny in here. You're missing the
what?
The pool shade one.
The pool shade.
Yeah.
Well, would this be okay?
I have been one-upped.
Oh,
I like the blinking.
Do you?
You guys got to go to YouTube to see this.
I can't handle the blinking. Actually, I can see better with these close up than I can.
You know what?
With my glasses.
You guys have to watch this on YouTube. The Real Estate 360 show on YouTube. You don't want to miss it. You got to see it. There's no way to describe what I'm looking at right now.
We can't take ourselves just too seriously. You know what I'm saying? So, but we are here to deliver some information, and that would be funding your purchases. So, if you're going to wholesale a property, you don't need any money.
But wait.
Yes.
What about the earnest money?
That's a great question. You want me to answer that? I know you already know.
Oh, I gotta know. I gotta know from the man in the shades.
Well, okay. So the last one I did, where you say, let's just say I had no money. Okay.
Right.
So I wrote a contract and I put down $1,000 on the contract. And I said, I will deliver that 1,000 within a week or 10 days or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, depending on who you're negotiating that with, they're going to say yes or no or whatever. So, by the way, let's talk about that a little bit. I'm going to shoot off on another tangent, which is, are you buying these properties from banks? Are you going to buy, or are you buying them from other wholesalers? Just depends on who you're buying them from and how sophisticated they are.
Mm-hmm.
If you're buying them from a homeowner and you put down 10 days, they're not likely to care.
That's right.
They're not, quite frankly, as knowledgeable about what's going on with the earnest money. Now, the people who are real estate agents and wholesalers, they want the earnest money paid now, right now.
Right.
So really, we're marketing to try to find the people who are selling. They're selling it for to solve a problem.
Mm-hmm.
They're not that concerned about the earnest money. One of our guys, one of the guys that I helped in the business, he always wrote down just $10 for earnest money.
Yeah.
And then he never gave it to anybody, So
he still does that.
He still does that, I know. So you give yourself plenty of time to deliver the earnest money. You market to sell the property, you collect your earnest money, and then you tender it. So you do a flow through.
That's right. So, and for all of you out there that didn't understand all those big words.
What big words?
You got to tender it. It's a flow through. I don't know. Is there a meat mallet around here? Are we tenderizing the meat? So what that means?
Oh, just give it.
That's right. So you're going to, pardon me, you're going to get a contract. You're going to find a deal.
Yeah.
You're going to market for a deal. You're going to find the deal. In the contract, you're going to ask for, a week or 10 days, 2 weeks due diligence when the earnest money is due. Right? Then once that's done, once you have that contract signed, you're going to market it. And when you get someone else that wants to buy that property, you're going to take that earnest money check from them because you're not going to do 10 days due diligence. You're a sophisticated investor now, right?
Exactly.
So you're going to get that earnest money right away because you're telling them, hey, do all your due diligence before you come and give me a contract. And they're going to do that. They give you their earnest money. You then give that earnest money to the attorney, or as Steve said, you tender.
Yes, you tender it.
Yes.
You not tenderize.
Yes, you tender. You give it to the attorney. And now you've done a no money down deal. Now you've done a no money down deal, and they happen really all the time. You hear about this, oh, no money down, no money down, no money down. And then you start learning about it and talking to other people, and you'll hear people say, oh, there's no such thing as a no money down deal, which is true. It depends on the context in which you're coming from.
Right.
For us, there's a no money down deal because it's not our money. It's not your money. If it's not your money, for you, it's a no money down deal.
That's right.
There's always money involved.
Yeah.
Just doesn't have to be yours.
Yes.
Right? Not in every case. So you have to be aware of that.
And real estate really is one of the few things that you can do that with effectively because it's real value.
Mm-hmm.
And there's equity there a lot of times. And that maybe there's already funding in place
Mm-hmm.
on the property, and that leads us to the next one, which is a subject to. So
Now, we're doing one of those right now.
we are, as a matter of fact. We just need to schedule it now. I'm thinking about that. Right now, we're going to be paying attorney's fees in the first months of payment.
Mm-hmm.
But, we could sell that to a homeowner.
Mm-hmm.
We could.
Very easily.
And that then would be a no money down deal. How much money have we put in so far?
Nothing.
Right.
Couple telephone calls.
No earnest money or anything.
No, free marketing.
Yeah.
A free marketing platform we utilize for that.
Exactly.
And I mean, that's just how things go. So even with that deal, I mean, I talk a lot about, because it's a hot button thing, how can I make $100,000 a year, right?
Right.
A lot of people want to know how to get to six figures, with whatever they're doing. Obviously, we're talking about real estate. So this is a deal, right?
Yeah.
That's not going to cost us anything. So, or let's say it does. Let's say it's going to cost us, I don't know, $2,500 with attorney's fees and the first month payment and so on and so forth, right?
Okay, let's say that.
Say it costs us $2,500. we can then take that deal, like you said, and give it to a homeowner, someone that has some cash but doesn't have the credit, that can't qualify for a loan, right?
And has the income and the ability to make the payment.
Absolutely.
Right.
So our payment on that is roughly $750. Their payment would be somewhere around the $1,200, $1,100 mark.
Yeah.
But they'd also have to put down at least $5,000.
At least.
At least. So now we're talking about on the down
Why
payment
don't we
alone.
say they have to put down $10,000?
But I mean,
And
at
the
that
reason-
price point, realistically,
I know, but I'm just trying to get you to your $100,000 a year.
well, you can't do it off one deal.
Well, I know, but you can do one a month.
That's right.
8,000 is where I'm going with that.
Exactly.
You know.
$8,300.
Right.
Right. So that one deal made you, if it was 10, you're pretty close to
Exactly.
that 8,000.
Right.
You know, but if you're doing that plus a wholesale deal, just one of those 2 deals a month, you're at your $100,000. All you have to do is just keep it going.
Yeah.
But we're up against heartbreak. We gotta go.
Okay.
Do you need to sell your house? Well, our company will buy your house. We make the process very fast, very easy, and it's all cash. All you have to do is give us a call today.
We'll Buy Your House. Click 833willbuy.com. That's 833WELLBUY.com.
Or call 833-WILL-BUY.
Se habla español, llámanos, call us today.
All right, and welcome back. And hey, we were just wrapping up subject 2. Can you finish that up for us?
Well,
Where
just
were
saying,
we? on
You
that?
know, we're saying there that, you know, that's a situation, this deal that we're talking about is a situation where, you know, it's going to make someone, us in this case, you know, $300-400 a month
Right.
passively. I mean, that's a real $300 or $400 a month. You will probably do, you know, a subject to or an owner finance to someone else, which is going to pay us anywhere between $2,500 and $7,500. And if we're trying to make $100,000 a year, we have to make $8,333.33 a month.
Yeah.
1 month has to be a stellar month. We have to make one more penny, right? so, to make
Stellar.
that 100,000, right?
So 1 penny is the difference between just regular month and stellar month.
It's exactly 1 penny is the difference
Ooh.
between a 5-figure and a 6-figure salary. You just take one from the tray, give a penny, take a penny. That's right. But just one of those deals and one wholesale deal a month, if you're doing the right thing, is going to give you your $100,000 a year.
Absolutely. And, you know, I'm just listening as we're talking. You know, I'm always interested to hear what, you know, I'm having to say because I never know what's going to come out. But, but, you know, just in this one transaction, how many different ways have we already talked about that this could be done?
Yeah.
You know, we're subject to no money, sell it as an owner finance with a down payment, pass it back to the seller that we've found, and she can collect the payments. We can have the money from the transaction, you know, the sale. We could just rent it, keep it, and rent it. We could. What we haven't talked about is we can keep it and Airbnb it.
That's right.
What else?
We can keep it, fix it, or retail it.
Yeah,
Because, I mean,
not
it's-
so much on this one.
Yeah. I mean, we could,
We could.
but we more than likely we're not going to. I mean, there's no room in there to do it financially.
Financially, there's not.
You know, in this deal, but in another deal,
Yeah.
you know, like that story you tell about that $18,000 house.
Right.
You know, that was a perfect deal.
It could have been, but it was also at a time, you know, when
Retail
were
was
there
tough.
people buying stuff? I just didn't know.
Well,
know?
you were, and someone bought it from you, so
That's
they
true.
were. There's always buyers.
Yeah, and what would it appraise for at that particular moment in
Maybe
time?
$35,000.
Yeah. You know, that house sold. Somebody bought it from this guy, enclosed the garage, did some work on it, and that sold for $110,000.
Not a bad deal.
Oh, man.
Not a bad deal.
That's a lot more, really, of what the thing was worth. You
Yeah.
couldn't build it for $18,000.
That's right.
I don't think you can buy a lot for $18,000.
Well, that's what. Hey, listen, Warren Buffett said it best: when there's blood in the streets,
Yeah.
buy,
That's right.
buy.
Mm.
And you know, we're probably coming up on a time where there's going to be a little blood in the streets. So I'm kind of interested in the buy part of that.
That was the other topic that I had considered for today was, you know, what's coming next. And I'm really excited about, the slowdown in the economy. Let's be honest, I'm not excited about what we already have in our pipeline with the slowdown in the economy, but I'm excited about the new opportunities that's going to present. It's going to present more of what we just talked about, these subject to.
Listen, as of the airing of this show that you're listening to right now, we are approximately a year away from the election.
Yeah.
Right? So there's going to be a lot that occurs over the course of the next 12 months.
It's going to be crazy.
So, strap in, folks. It's going to be a wild ride. Just enjoy the ride. Don't get all mad at it. Just enjoy it and look for the opportunities, because that's what we're here talking about. Yeah. The opportunities that we can find in real estate, right? Get some money in your pocket, grow your business, turn it into a 6-figure business, turn that into a 7-figure business, and start to find different things to do. And these are the methods that you can utilize, what we're talking about right now, to start from nothing, or start with whatever it is you have, whatever your financial and credit attributes are. You can utilize these techniques that we're talking about today to start in real estate, or just get better and, add some more weapons to your arsenal if you're already a real estate investor.
Yeah. For a while there, people were saying, aren't you going to run out of properties to buy? I'm thinking, you obviously are not in real estate investing, because there's always something there. Always.
And how many properties have you resold?
Oh my God. How many properties have I bought and sold over a course of like 8 or 10 years? When I say how many, I mean the same house. Exactly the same house. There's one over in Southeast Atlanta that I bought and sold 3 times.
Yeah.
Over like 6 years, and there it was again. Oh my God.
Yeah.
And so I know that house. I'll buy it.
That's right. You know what it's going to take. It is what it is, as long as the numbers are working for the time that you're looking at it.
Right. And usually they are. They don't show up again for no reason.
That's right.
There's always a reason.
So there's always real estate.
Yeah.
You're not going to run out of opportunity, because there's always opportunity, because there's always problems.
People are involved in it, and so there's always a problem.
That's right.
And
so
whatever.
Now the next thing, speaking of problems, because generally this gets done when there's a problem, subject to / owner financing.
Oh, look, it's on the list.
So we know, subject to, people they got to sell it for, they got all kind of stuff going on in their life. But owner financing is kind of the same, right?
Well, yeah, it is, but maybe for different reasons, maybe for the same reasons. It could be that someone wants to sell, but they do not want a tax implication of having all that cash come in, or maybe they just don't need the money. I know there's a lot of people out there that says, what do you mean they don't need money?
They need cash flow.
Right. They would prefer to have the cash flow. They'd rather stretch it out over time, and it's just, it just works better for them.
That's right.
And that's why people buy properties to rent for cash flow.
That's right.
Same thing.
And we were literally we're working on another deal, which is a business. We were just talking about it. We're working on another deal. It's a business. And this business, this property owner, he's a property owner.
Yeah.
That just so happens to be a business in the property.
Oh, does he own that also?
Yeah, he owns it.
Oh. But
he is not interested in the business. But he is interested in the cash flow. Right?
Well, of course. Hey, that's something I've been really kind of thinking about a lot lately, which is, we're here for one reason, and that's the cash flow and to create the lifestyle.
That's right.
And the business is just the vehicle.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
I say that to people all the time.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what you're doing. I wanted to become a lender in the automotive industry at one point in time, so I started a small dealership. And the vehicle was the vehicle. The cars were my way into learning how to be a lender, because you gotta be in there. You gotta be 10 toes down, in it to really truly understand it.
Right.
So it's the same with this. Once you start to achieve certain levels, your needs change. what you need out of that business becomes a little, it shifts. It's not just about making money at a certain point. It's about the preservation thereof. And how do you create write-offs? Because if you're making, over $125,000 as a single individual, you're taxed at the highest tax bracket now. You don't think about it until you get hit in the head with the tax bill.
Right.
So
hopefully your accountant has said, wait a minute, you're about to get hit in the head.
Right. Well, that's, you're giving people a lot of credit here for pre-planning, right?
Okay, yeah.
Because very few people will pre-plan these kinds of things. It's one of those things, it happens to you, you're excited. Generally, you've spent most of the money on stuff because you're excited that you can buy more stuff. And then when the tax bill comes, you're like, oh, I can't take this stuff back now.
That's right.
Now I got to make more money, but I also have to plan. So what does that plan look like? So now you have to have real estate. You're more interested in cash flow, like you said. You don't want these big tax implications. So you're doing different things. You're looking at 1031 tax exchanges if you are going to sell. You're looking for cash flow opportunities, and in real estate, those businesses are super, super great to have the cash flow and get the write-off from being the property owner, depending on how you structure those sales/leases.
Did we take you away from? I was interested in the story you were telling and the guy that owned the property, and we kind of got off of that.
We did. Well, okay, so this is basically his story. He has this property. He loaned the people the money to start this business.
Yeah.
To buy the property and do the renovations, get it all going. And they got it all going, but they couldn't keep up their mortgage payments, if you will, the loan payments. So he foreclosed on it, figured he could run the business better, kept the business going, saw that it was a great business, but said, this is way too much time for me because I'm not this kind of a business owner. I'm a lawyer. I have a career that I need to tend to. I can't tend to this over here, but I need this cash flow, and I can't stand the tax implication for what that property is worth today. It's
he's
too
a
much.
perfect seller.
Absolutely. Owner financing opportunity.
Yeah.
All day long. So in our conversations or negotiations,
Yes.
it's okay, look, I'd love to buy it, but I get you don't want to sell it, so let's agree on terms. And those terms for him will be favorable, and they'll be very favorable for us as well because we don't have to worry about licensing. We don't have to worry about permitting issues. We don't have to change anything. We simply take over the business.
So you're talking about a joint venture?
No.
Okay.
No. I'll elaborate after the break.
Well, we don't have a break yet. I mean,
We've got one in like 20 seconds, but it's way too much for me to get into right now.
Okay,
You know what I mean?
all right.
It's way too much for me to go into like 10 seconds worth. But it's a fantastic way to get out there and even buying businesses this way. It's fantastic. And we'll talk more about it.
Hi, this is Sammy with Sammy Hadid Real Estate Keller Williams. Are you looking for a top producing agent who will look out for your best interests? Top dollar on the sale of your home, a well-negotiated contract, an efficient closing? Please call me at 305-978-4249. I'm more than happy to set up a consultation. I'll put together a proposal for you to net top dollar for your home, what it is that I'm doing to get all my homes sold. Then you can decide what's best for you. Again, I'll do whatever it takes to get your home sold for top dollar, and I promise you that I will protect your equity with my life. 305-978-4249. Sammy Hadid, Hadid.
And welcome back. Hey, we were talking about this business opportunity, and I said something like, oh, this is a joint venture. And Miles said, absolutely not. So what do you mean?
Right. So we would be the owners of said business, right? But this guy's interested in cash flow. He's interested in making money off of this business. He also owns the real estate. So what we do is we structure a lease. He's going to basically owner finance the business to us for a percentage, a small percentage of the business, no money down. And then the real estate is separate from that, but of course included into one big payment. So there's a real estate payment
Right.
that we would have, and there is a owner finance for the business payment, which in this particular case is structured off of a percentage of the net profits.
You said a small percentage that you would own, or that
he
we would own, or that
we
he would own.
We own 100% of the business,
Okay.
but 10% of the net profits of the business
Yes. Okay.
will be given to him in exchange for a little bit. So what we're getting out of the deal, this is a particular business that has to have all these licenses and all this stuff. It already has it. By keeping him in place and giving him that 10% will save us so much time and so much money coming in on the front side of that, right?
Oh my God. Yeah.
So he's there. He's not going anywhere, but it makes us get in a lot easier. But he's still going to get, somewhere between 120 and 160,000 a year.
That's going to depend on how good of a negotiator you are. I'm going to be watching this.
That's right.
I'm interested to see.
And that's just one way to do it,
Yeah.
So it's not quite a joint venture.
No.
It's not quite, but because we own 100% of the business.
Yeah, structuring it that way, it's not a joint venture at
No.
all.
No,
It's just an owner finance deal.
that's right.
And but he's got to stay in it for the licensing in some way.
That's the 10% part.
Okay.
That's the 10% negotiations.
Got it. Well, listen, so we're talking about owner financing and funding your properties and so forth.
Yes.
And I'd like to just run down a quick list of what the options are for single family, well, even multifamily properties that you can get involved with in terms of your lending. Okay, number one is hard money. Number two, private money.
So, wait.
Yes, but I got more on the list.
I love it. But what is the difference between hard money and private money?
Well,
Do tell.
I'm really not 100% sure, but if I were to take a guess, I would say hard money, you have a broker involved. And so the hard money is going to be a guy in the middle representing private money to a borrower, a house buyer. And so the hard money, they have their set terms. They've got, okay, it's 3 points, it's 4 points, or it's 5 points, for the origination and the fees up front. And it is 8%, 10, 12, 15, 16, 18%, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
So they got their programs in place. And so they bring in their private funds and then they turn around and relend it.
Mm-hmm.
Does that jive with your definition?
For the most part, absolutely. That's exactly what it is. Hard money, they have their set parameters in place already.
Right.
Private money is, hey, listen, Joe, a friend of mine, person I know, Joe.
Yeah.
Can I use your IRA funds or your Roth funds or whatever, your cash in the bank funds for 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, 120 days, whatever, for
12 years.
5%.
Yeah.
Sure. I'll give you 5% for the duration of this deal. Or I'll give you 8% a year, simple interest. It's this much per quarter, this much per month.
So what do you like better? Do you like hard money? Or
I got to go with the private money, bro.
Oh, absolutely.
No points. You're going to get a better interest rate because even if you're paying 8%,
Yeah.
you don't have the points. You have the ease of transaction. You generally don't have to go through the rigmarole of the underwriting process and this, that, and the other.
Right.
As long as you know your business and you're not putting your money partner in a bind, hey, private money is always the way to go. Your job, our job as investors, are simply to be able to identify real deals.
Yeah.
Real deals. So we're not putting ourselves or our investors in any harm.
I'm smiling a little bit because, stories, our mental stories create our lives.
Absolutely.
And so there's this one movie that I had seen way back when I was a kid. It was called Wheeler Dealer or Wheeler Dealers. I think it was Wheeler Dealer, singular. And this James Garner, he's walking into a restaurant, as a matter of fact. So that's kind of like the business. And with his date, and then he's sitting there and he's got a pen out and he's calculating stuff. And this lady says, his date says, "What are you doing?" He says, "Well, there's X number of people here. There's this many people at the table. Their tickets are so much every you know, on every transaction, and they turn it every. He said they're doing this much a month, or this much in annual gross business a year, and the bar's over there. And he said if they were to move this over there, and if they were to do this and make some changes and redecorate a little bit, we could, this business would be doing twice as much. Now, and then they go back again about a month later, and then he walks in, and the maitre d' says, "Oh, Mr. So-and-so, nice to see you again." Takes his coat, "Come over here, sit down right here." Then they get the best table, and she says, "Everybody knows you here. What happened?" I bought the place, and I own it. And the bar's over there now, and this and everything, and we doubled the business. But now here's the thing, and this is how it relates. Part of the show is there's these 3 guys in this jet that are the money guys,
right?
And they're following him around. They fly from city to city, and they try to call him, and he doesn't answer the phone because he said, they're trying to give me some more money. I'm not ready. I don't want it yet. It's not right yet. And that has stuck with me for a long time.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the things that we're doing. I have a private lender. We have several private lenders together. They keep coming back. Okay, we could pay one off. What's the next deal?
You know why it is?
Because they make a lot of
That's
money.
right. And coffee is for closers. Glenn Ross.
Right.
We close, man. We close. And people like that.
Yeah.
When you make your private money, they'll give you more. It's an amazing thing.
I called her up, on the last thing we did, and she said, and I told her, I said, "This is what I can do." She said, "Well, that beats, the 0.5% I'm getting," and wherever she had it, and of course it does, and it's secured with real estate, and that's okay. So that's all private money.
Private money is a great thing.
Yeah,
that's
man.
the difference, you guys, in our elongated version of the different thing, the difference between hard money and private money. But that's it. That's the difference.
Right.
The difference is hard money is strict. You got to go through a lot. Private money is generally going to be people that you know, or people that that are going to easily give you the money without all of that stuff.
Yeah, and everybody has different situations. Maybe there's a situation where we would prefer not to put a lot of money down,
Right.
so we're willing to pay more interest in exchange for that. Or maybe we have a lot of cash and we're going to put a whole bunch of money down, and in that case we're going to say, well, we're not going to pay as much. So it's all a negotiation.
It is, all of it.
Yeah.
So what else is on the list?
Well, let's see, we have joint venture. So, and now, by the way, all these things can kind of work together. Maybe you can joint venture with hard money and joint venture with private funds. So that means, you bring somebody in, you give them a percentage, or you give them a percentage of the net profit like you're talking about.
Yeah.
Endless ways to put this together.
Yeah. And I know that from a wholesale perspective, there's a lot of guys out there, a lot of wholesalers or quasi-wholesalers that'll come and they'll say, "Hey, I love your deal. Can I joint venture with you?"
Oh, that kind of joint venture.
That's a different kind, right? But that's one that I know that it's taught in a lot of programs,
Right.
but I am totally not a fan of that at all.
Explains that, would you, Lucy, please?
I will. Okay. So these wholesalers will come to you if you have a property, and they'll call you up and they'll say, "Hey, listen, I think I might have a buyer for your property. I'd like to joint venture with you." Now, if you don't know what you're doing and you sign a joint venture agreement with this individual on this property that you found for whatever, maybe it's 50%, 25%. Generally, they like to do 50%.
They do like to do 50%.
They like to, but you've done all the work to find the property, maybe put down the earnest money. You're doing all the marketing. You've done all the marketing to find this person who may or may not really have a buyer, but they want a joint venture with you, which now means if you sign this, that you're pledging 50% of the profits on this deal to this person. They're getting 50% for nothing. Because what happens if you sell the property? You've signed a legally binding contract. You're contractually obligated to pay this person that you've joint ventured with on 123 Main Street 50% of your profit.
Sometimes I haven't seen that the ones that have come to me have always said, and if you sell it yourself, then we're out of it.
You could throw the verbiage in there for sure.
Right.
Right. But
you have to be aware of that.
Absolutely. But even still, even if it was just that, right? You said, okay, you're going to get 50% of the profits. Now, generally, we're not greedy people.
Right.
But, if we've got a deal that we know there's, $15,000 or $20,000 in this deal, why am I going to possibly give away $7,500 or $10,000 to this other? It just doesn't make sense.
Because we've spent a lot of money usually marketing for something like that.
That's right.
To find that property, and then we have to take the time to negotiate it, write the contract. That's a lot of effort.
I wouldn't do it.
And money.
I don't do it. It's not even that I wouldn't do it. I simply do not do it.
Yeah.
Look, if you want to sell it, that's fine. Here's the price. Negotiate with me if you want a better price. And then you do what you do as a wholesaler for your clients. You sell it for what? If I'm selling it for 70 and we agree that you're going to put a contract in for, let's say, 67, but you believe you can sell it for 72, God bless you. Let's take a break.
We'll buy your house. Click 833willbuy.com. That's 833WELLBUY.com.
Or call 833-WILL-BUY.
Se habla español, llámanos, call us today.
And welcome back. And we have a little background music going. And this is Steve Connolly, #unemployable, and
Jason O. Miles, #the real estate trainer.
So listen, I think we got the joint venture wholesaler thing out of your system.
Yeah.
All right. Again. And so the bottom line is you say, hey, do your own thing. We'll do our own thing.
Yeah. Don't you agree with that,
add
though?
on. Yeah, absolutely. I do agree with it 100%, because they called me up and they said, let's joint venture. And I'm saying, look, I don't know what you mean. We're the owners of this property.
Right.
We'll pay you a fee, or you, I can go to this number. You sell it for whatever you want to after that.
Yeah.
Other than, and they want me to sign these agreements. I have yet to sign a joint venture agreement. I'm just not. I'm not on the program.
That's right.
For that. And
That's
I
right.
said, this business is relationships. If you think you can sell it, go for it.
That's right.
Do your best. Knock it out of the park, and I will pay you. This amount. And if you don't sell it, then, no big deal.
That's right. That's exactly right. So what else do we have?
Well, in addition to those things that I just went down, and that's, we ended up, I think it was joint ventures when we ended up with.
We were done there. Yeah. That's where we left off.
Now, just for the heck of it, I put down credit cards,
Comes in handy.
Yeah.
Come in handy in a lot of ways. I mean, if you get a property, as you like to say, sometimes you got to knock the ugly off of it.
Right.
You might want to, you don't have a bunch of liquidity, but, you've got credit cards. Maybe you want to do some landscaping. Maybe you want to fix the roof.
You find a property cheap enough, down in Macon or Columbus or something like that. One of our guys, the guy we just brought onto our team, Justin Ship.
Yeah.
He's talking about a house he bought for $5,000. You can put that on your credit card.
That's right.
You can write a credit card check for that.
That's right.
And if you need to, he didn't even need to do that because he did the wholesale thing and just sold it, and made us $5,000, and off he went.
They come in handy. Maybe you bought a property and you got to start doing the renovations, but you don't have the liquidity. You have the credit cards.
That's right.
You do all your material stuff right there. You only have to worry about paying for labor, and that's what the renovation budget is for.
That's right. I would say, be careful,
doing
that. Because there may be zero interest on credit cards, but they don't do that forever.
No.
And don't miss a payment. Just be really, really careful with those credit cards.
Absolutely.
Because they'll take you down.
That's right. I was just reading an article over the weekend about the credit cards with the zero, the introductory rate, 0% interest. If you miss a payment or if you go beyond a certain time, you may have agreed on a 26% interest rate at the end of the term. But if you miss a payment, if you're late, that 26 could turn into 30, 32 in some cases.
Yeah.
And it is just wicked what people are paying on some of these credit cards.
Get your exit strategy in place.
That's right.
Before you pull out your credit card. So that you know. And by the way, have a plan B and C and D.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and on Stargate SG-1,
Yeah.
Colonel O'Neill,
Mm-hmm.
he says, "What do you mean we don't have a plan B? Then that means we don't have a plan, because plan A never works." So, all right. So, in addition to the credit cards,
What can go wrong will, that's for sure.
yeah, HELOC,
Aha. Now,
home equity line of credit.
these are wonderful tools, I think. I mean, you have to be careful,
Right.
right?
Absolutely.
Because we saw what can happen when people use all that equity in their homes
Mhm.
to go buy real estate that may already be inflated.
Yeah.
So, when there is a correction, both houses will feel the effect.
Yeah, that's
So,
right.
so you have to really be careful using the HELOC. If you are going to use it, make sure that it's a relatively short term that you're putting it out there. If you've got a 5% interest that you're paying on it, make sure you're getting 8, 9, 12, whatever you
Right.
can get. If you're going to be lending it out, or if it's saving you money.
Or you make sure you can make the payments if you're going to renovate a house with it.
That's right.
And,
That's right.
and during that time until the house sells, make those payments. And but what is a HELOC? So that's a home equity line of credit. It's tapping your equity in your personal residence
Mm-hmm.
up to a certain percentage at a great interest rate. And the best thing is you don't have to go to the bank if you need the money. You just write a check.
That's right.
It's yours, it's right there.
That's right.
Yeah.
Can I tell you a story about a guy that
Please
did that?
do.
I got to tell you a story.
I like stories.
Okay, so we
Once upon a time.
once upon a time in a land far, far away but close to us, there was a real estate investor.
Yeah.
This guy, he made a bunch of money flipping real estate. Bunch of money, a lot of money. And while he was headed up, he bought his house the way we buy houses, and he fixed it up for his family, and he had somewhere around $300,000 worth of equity in this house at the height of, the valuation before the crash.
Right.
And in an effort to grow his business, because things were still cranking, he went and got a home equity line of credit that gave him $250,000.
Nice.
And he took that $250,000 coupled with what he had already had, and he went out and he just bought a bunch of houses. Bunch of houses. It worked 2 times. The third time the crash occurred.
Oops.
But he utilized this HELOC, the money that he had. Now, he had a lot in there, right? He had a lot. Most people are going to wind up with, 80, 100 or something like that. But he had a lot. So he pulls all that out, and he went and bought, I say it was like 10 houses that he bought, and he turned them, and he made that money. He made about 30% on that, on just under $1 million investment. 30% in the span of 60 days.
That's amazing.
I mean, that's fantastic. And of course, he just kept doing it. He kept doing it.
60 days. So there's 60 days. Let's see, that's 180%.
Yeah, he did
annualized.
But he did it at the height. So,
Yeah.
I think it was the third or fourth flip that the bottom fell out of the market.
08 showed up.
Yeah. But the point is, it's actually a 2-pronged point. One, if you know what you're doing,
Yeah.
your HELOC can really come in handy. Now, in his case, he should have just paid the HELOC off after the second time because he had enough money. He had enough money to pay that off. He didn't need it, but he kept flipping it because it was cheaper than borrowing because he was also lending.
Right.
So the cautionary portion of this story, of this tale, is he never paid it off. So when the bottom fell out of the market, he couldn't sell his houses for what he paid for them. He took a loss all the way around. He had to do a lot of creative things to try to save his financial well-being at that point because he was gambling everything all the time.
Right.
So you got to be careful. I mean, once you make the money, pay off the debt.
Right.
Just pay it off. It's still there for you. You still have the checkbook because they haven't taken it away from you. So just pay it off. He never did it.
Well, we'll have to be really careful with that.
Got to be careful.
Yeah.
It's a scary place to be.
That's right.
Scary place to be. So
There's
HELOC.
more on the list.
But wait, there's more?
Yeah. As long as we got the HELOC.
Well, by
thing.
golly, let me know more.
Did we cover the HELOC?
I think we covered the HELOC.
All right. So we're running short on time, so we have a couple more things on the list. Hey, one of them is cash.
Cash is king, baby.
It is, but you can use your own cash, and that's fine. But I've always found that I usually make more money if I don't use cash.
Absolutely. You got to leverage bits and pieces of it.
Well, and also, there's always creativity.
Mm-hmm.
And with real estate, you can get super creative with no money.
Yeah.
Absolutely no cash.
Yeah.
And I like that. And what is your ROI if you have no money invested?
It's infinite, my man.
It's kind of infinite.
It's infinite.
But it's not passive. That's the difference,
Yeah.
I think I know what you're saying as far as the infinite ROI, and I like to think that way too, but that is not it.
Yeah.
It's now it's not a return on your investment. It's a return on your time and your knowledge and your information that you have in your head.
Yeah.
And that's really important.
Yeah.
It's
and
way more
how you
important.
value that.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
way more important than the cash.
That's for sure.
We don't need any cash to make money.
No.
Now, everybody says, oh, you need money to make money. No, you do not.
Right.
So where'd all this money come from? Somebody thought it up,
That's exactly right.
Right.
It's all thought up.
And you can leverage assets, which is a HELOC,
Art,
private funds,
watches,
cars, right. Exactly.
We
Go
watch people do that all the time.
borrow on your gold coins or something like that.
We watch people do that all the time.
Yeah, we do.
Especially with the cars. People like to barter cars. You know how many cars I've received from real estate transactions over the years?
No, how many?
I can't count them anymore.
I was trying to do that for a long time. No, I could never get one.
Cody just got a F-250.
Did he really?
Yeah.
For trading?
Yeah.
I just sold Cody I just sold Justin 2 cars.
That's great.
Yeah.
I mean, it's great. You can do all kind of stuff. You know what I mean? But let's can you tell me a little bit more about what's coming up on the 9th of November?
Well, yeah, it's really more about what we've just been talking about, and a little bit more depth and detail. And we're going to bring Justin Shipp in. He's going to talk about it as well.
Mm-hmm.
He's relatively new to real estate investing, but he's done extremely well.
Yeah.
And he has also garnered, can I use that word, garnered?
You can. That's a good word.
He's created a following of people who he said, listen, he said, right when I was going into real estate, everybody said, you're absolutely crazy.
Yep.
What are you doing? You're not going to make any money. Of course, he started making money. And
he's helped other people make money.
He has. And then now everybody wants to know what he's doing. So now they're following him. He just took the lead.
Yeah.
So that is what we're going to be talking about on the 9th.
And they can find that on realestate360show.com.
And it is on Eventbrite in case you want to go over there and just look it up that way.
So go check it out, guys. And listen, go to iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, Google Play. Check us out. Listen to us. Share. See you next week.